lovely New York City, and we're with Tazz here, who operates her store and her business out of downtown. But I'm going to have her introduce herself and tell you exactly what she does. She's with Petropolis in New York City, and I'm going to let you sort of explain.
I'm going to talk, okay. So I own a holistic pet store in New York City, and along with that, I have a nutrition consulting company called the Petropolis, and we direct people to how to feed their pets properly and how to give them the right nutrition. And you know, it's not all about raw or one brand or another. It's, you know, we set it up for the individual. It's based on your individual pet's needs and your price point and what you can and can't do, but we give you the best options and the most nutritious, holistic options there are. So that's what I do at the Petropolis.
Nice. Yeah, we've talked for months now, I feel like,
Yes.
and then you've seen the film, so I'm excited to just continue the conversation. The film, you know, at the end of the film, it's do what you can do. You know, make the best nutrition choice that you can do.
Yep.
And the film research really adds up towards species appropriateness, because that's what was, you know, prevalent in the research phase of the film. It was very confusing. If you were to get online, it was either do raw or do, you know, the major company thing. So that's sort of the investigation of the film, sort of like, well, why do I get so confused, and what is this thing called species appropriate? Now, after watching the film, many people will go, well, what do I do? Raw isn't the buy-all, end-all. It is, that was the approach for species-appropriate diets. Now, there's a multitude of options out of that. The interest of the film is dialing it back to what is appropriate for the species, and then making the choice as the owner or the consumer for what tailors the best for, you know, your dog or your cat.
Right.
Or your lifestyle. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's the interest. So I hope the conversation starts because of the film, because of that. But I hope people don't take away, I have to feed raw. Like,
No,
it's the
I hope
approach
not. No.
to feeding what is best, what is species appropriate, what happens whenever you don't have to process it, you know, so much.
Right. So heat processing is clearly a factor, and it eliminates a lot of nutritional value. But you know, it's not about the companies.
Yeah.
And who's being nice and what company's great and what information they put out there, how they market their brand. It's about the quality of food that they make, how they make it, who their owners are, the information they provide you and how truthful that information is, and the quality. Always goes back to the quality of the food. You know, Dr. Becker always says it's about whole food. I know she pushes raw a lot, but it is about whole foods. It's about using balanced nutrition, and not every animal can eat raw. So this is not about raw, okay? And what we need to do is look at every animal as an individual, just like we look at ourselves as individuals and our families, our family members. We look at our animals as individuals, and we have our price points to work with, and we get them the best nutrition. But we have to know who's making the foods and where the foods are coming from, the quality. That's what matters. You know, like in Akana, Origin, Champion Foods has species appropriate, you know, marketed on their food. They're dry. They're not a bad company. They're a good company.
Yeah, they've trademarked biologically appropriate.
Biologically appropriate. Thank you.
But they're putting it on dry food, and it's not a knock to the company, because the company, you
It's
know, is
wrong.
known to be nice and they source well.
But it's not about being nice, Cole.
Yeah.
It's not about, there are a lot of nice people at these companies, but they are doing it for profits and for gain,
What are you
and not
doing by
necessarily
doing-
for well-being of the animals.
You're putting biologically appropriate on a dry food. That's an issue, and we can talk about it.
That's
but
an
and we
oxymoron.
should be able to talk about it.
Yep.
You shouldn't get upset as a company because we're trying to have conversation around what you do. You should invite us to have the conversation.
Right.
But, you know,
Well,
that's a
dry
separate-
food is not biologically appropriate. Let's be clear. What's biologically appropriate for an animal is raw meat, okay? And dry kibble is not. Although they make one of the best kibbles out there. They really do, and they also have freeze-dried products that are excellent. So
since
and that's
they're-
raw.
So since they're
Okay.
a good company, then why not feed something less processed, you know?
Correct. So you can always go to their freeze-dried food. But I personally don't ever recommend kibble. But if that's where your price point is, fine. But there are good qualities just like this company. Bottom line is they're not biologically appropriate. biologically appropriate is whole foods, whole foods. The outer perimeter of your supermarket, where all the nutritionists tell you to go, that's where whole foods are. Vegetables, meats, and with animals, raw is the best way, but not everyone can absorb raw. So you can make, there's lots of great cooked companies as well. So there's a balance here that we're missing.
I think the biggest issue for me is that for the consumer, everything's perfect. Oh, we source well. We do great. So as the consumer, everybody's saying that they're fine. So prove it.
Prove it.
Talk, have conversations. But I think that's where, for me, the information,
it's important to know who the company really is, where their money's going. Is it going into marketing and the bags, or is it really going into making the food? That's what is so important.
The shock.
So getting to know who's who.
I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay, go ahead. You're the man.
I'm just saying it's shocking that for the companies, anybody can make their own. And then the fear is we would make sure it's balanced. Like it can be done on your own. You choose to go to a company because of trust and convenience. Convenience first, but then trust hopefully after that.
We hope to trust. Marketing brings about trust.
Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about. I want to come visit your store tomorrow.
Please
if I can,
do.
because I want to go into the store, look at what's in the stores and what's available. And
I'll walk you through why I think some foods are great, and I only carry certain brands. I limit everything. So we can walk through and talk about all that.
I think the best thing is just talking and conversation and
education.
You learn by doing that.
Yep, and we're here to tell people to teach yourselves. Look into it. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. There's so many layers. There's so much depth.
The thing I find fascinating is that industry companies but they give free food to bloggers, and then the bloggers recommend or talk about the food. It's fascinating. So
be careful
again,
what you read.
Who can you trust?
You have to trust your instincts, and then you can also trust people like me.
Yeah.
I have a company that, the Petropolis, who teaches people about nutrition. One session with me, then you'll be off and running. You generally don't need more than one session with me.
The thing that I've loved with speaking with you is you're no BS, but it's not antagonistic in any way. It's just, can we talk? And that's my whole approach. Is sort
and
of
I don't pick brands either.
Yeah.
I'm not friendly with this brand or that brand. I'm not promoting anybody.
Yeah.
It's what's right for the animal.
Can we talk? Yeah, that's a good approach. I'm glad we found each other.
I like we can talk.
And we're on a stoop, so.
Stoops are great in New York City.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm gonna come by tomorrow.
We just need a dog in the background.
I know.
You'll have my dog tomorrow.
Dog, we get in there.
Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you.